For a long time, workplace wellness meant a break room stocked with free bananas and granola. But as a conversation around work life balance becomes more holistic, the concept of wellness has expanded to include mental health, paid leave, and even personal finance. COVID-19 provided much of the workforce time to reevaluate their personal well being. The result was a huge wave of employees seeking career changes. In this episode, Yes Community's HR Benefits Manager, Leanna Cline, and Kylee Geffre, Cigna's Senior Engagement Consultant, sit down with me to discuss how the concept of wellness has changed and what goes into creating a successful wellness program that attracts and retains valued team members. What do you think, Leanna? What are you seeing around here that you're seeing employees do to make sure that they're maintaining their wellness?
It's taking breaks, get up and walk, step away from your desk, maybe try to do a walking meeting, perhaps if you're able to do that. Meditation, getting good sleep, just kind of that encouragement, and we really promote it. And again, here in the home office, we have a very active and engaged culture. So if we do challenges at work or just fun events outside, or let's take a break and do a group walk for 15 minutes, let's go shoot the basketball, whatever the case may be. People really enjoy that. And I think just the encouragement and knowing that it's okay that they go do that and it's encouraged, then they really take heart to that.
You know, burnout's a big thing. And especially after COVID, everybody's, it was kind of like, we had to shift quickly and adapt to a new way of working style. And now coming back, how do we ensure that we're not going to burn out? I mean, we're here usually 5 days a week, 8 hours a day. How do we make sure that there's a balance so that there isn't burnout?
In order to mitigate the burnout, people are used to being at home, and I don't want to say stuck at home, but for a while there they were, and they really couldn't go anywhere. So to mitigate that, we really promote work-life balance, and we want people to work hard, but also have fun and play. And again, the culture embraces that. So we just want people to keep doing things that will make them feel better. And again, if they just say, hey, I need a half an hour to just go be me and do my thing, we'd love to see that. Again, I mentioned hold walking meetings, encourage the use of PTO. I mean, we have PTO there for a reason. We want people to use it. So in order to mitigate burnout, say, hey, have you used any of your PTO? You can do this with it. We have we build community PTO. They could also use that just to get out of the office and help in the community. They're away from their desk, they're away from their everyday job. So there's a variety of things that individuals can do. And again, I think at Yes, we really encourage all of that, and hopefully the employees feel it.
So I know employee wellness is definitely a priority in the workplace. I mean, I see it here at Yes. You walk around the office here and we have healthy snack bowls, which I've never really worked at a company where they leave bowls of organic fruit out and healthy snacks like nuts and things like that. Companies are participating more in making sure, even from the snack area to the seltzer water, that everything is healthy. Are you seeing that as a shift? And again, with Kylee on the line too, are you seeing it more broadly that companies are really focusing on employees' health? Because, if they're healthy, they're going to be more productive.
We are certainly seeing this across the board with all employers, right? And I think it comes down to generational changes too, right? People are aging out of the workforce and people are aging in, and the younger generations are more vocal about what they need. They're not afraid to ask, right, for work-life balance. They're not afraid to ask for things that support their well-being, not just physical and, nutrition like we think of typically when we think of wellness, but behavioral and emotional health, right? Supporting their mental health needs, the social component of well-being, right? Taking those walking meetings, taking time at lunch to sit with your coworkers and socialize, because we have seen through COVID that people have become lonely, right? That's really common. So I would say employers are taking note and taking action and a proactive approach to support their employees in this wellness space so they are more productive, they're happier, and they're healthier, right? So they can do good work.
So what makes a wellness program successful? Like, how do you get people to actually participate and do these things? Because, we get busy and we're busy at work, but how do you get that success out of these programs?
Honestly, incentivizing them and saying, hey, if you join and do this challenge, you're going to win a reward. We've done Fitbit watches. We've done Yeti cups. We've done salad gift cards. I mean, there's, just a whole spectrum of things you can do, but it makes it successful because then you have that engagement and that excitement. They're like, well, I can do this, but it's also a challenge. And some people really enjoy challenges. So that brings them in. And then the education and creating a supportive workplace environment, that really makes it successful as well.
I got to tell you, one of the things I love about Cigna is it's so easy in the app. And you showed me something, Leanna, the other day, and I was like, what is this? I checked off all of these different appointments. I was like, oh, yeah, I saw the eye doctor. I went to the dentist. And then I had $150 waiting for me in my Cigna account that came back to me in a gift card. And that was $150 I had no idea was even there until you showed me. And I was like, hot diggity. It is a thing to have some sort of incentive. And I know, Kylee, you probably have some thoughts around wellness programs and being successful.
I would say one is giving employees a voice to express what they need and what they want from a program, right? And Yes has done that. Leanna mentioned earlier that Yes launched a assessment, right? Asking employees what they wanted from the wellness program. So they also had the opportunity to express and say, hey, we want support in these areas. And that makes it successful, right? In addition to the program that you build out, in addition to leadership kind of leading the way, right? And walking the walk, talking the talk, but giving employees that voice. And I would also say giving them options, right? Because you might like to engage in a physical activity, right? But I need support from a mental health perspective. So giving people options and choice of how and when they want to engage is really important. It helps with engagement, helps with success, and really getting people to where they need.
I know we talked a little bit of all the different aspects of wellness. And, when people think about it, they think, oh, it's health insurance. But there's a lot involved. It's not like just going to the doctor. I mean, it's mental, physical, emotional, financial. Tell us a little bit more. Like, most people don't think about a health insurance company or a company like Yes making sure that they're touching on all of these different aspects.
So yeah, you nailed the aspects. Those were the ones, took it right out of my mouth. The mental, physical, emotional, financial. There's also spiritual and social. And our new logo, our new branding includes that spiritual aspect of it. We kind of really try to tie in wholeheartedly everything. We've done financial meetings because a lot of people don't think of financial wellness, but it's a big part of wellness as well. I mean, if you're stressed out and you can't pay bills, you're mentally stressed. I mean, it just kind of spirals and it hits all areas. So we've done financial seminars with our 401k provider, touched on Medicare for the older population, just learning more about the plan itself, if you're on an HSA, how does that work? Because people enroll in insurance and don't know truly how it works. So having that basic understanding helps them as well to be like, gosh, I need to go seek care, or what's the difference between the ER and an urgent care, which is going to cost me more, which is, again, it's just back to the education. So Yes really tries to support all areas of wellness and touch on every little bit of it as much as we can with, again, collaborating with Cigna and talking to the employees and just kind of hearing them and getting their feedback on what they want.
So, great advice, because, those bills can creep up on you after the fact. And I think the HSA is a really important thing too. I have one, and I tuck money aside every single month because you never know. I just got a bill for my son recently, for going to the pediatrician. It wasn't a wellness checkup. It was just more of he had to go in for a little cough, and, they creep up on you. But having that HSA, I'm like, oh, it's covered. I'm just going to pay for it out of my HSA, and, you don't have to worry. But those are great things for employees to know about and what the benefits can be.
Absolutely.
How have you seen companies change their approach to wellness in the past decade? I mean, oh my gosh, it's probably even more in the past like 3 years. It's probably changed significantly.
Yeah, absolutely. So I would say what we're seeing shift is that focus from physical, right? Just focusing on the physical when you think about wellness and nutrition, and really expanding upon, like we've talked about here today already, focusing in on those other dimensions of well being: financial, emotional, mental, spiritual, and social, right? Really encompassing the whole person. Again, because employees are more vocal, right? Employees are really pressing their employers to deliver on wellness needs, not only from flexible benefit design, right, and wellness programming, but they really want more offerings. So we're also seeing, outside of wellness program development, we're seeing employers incorporate, flexibility in schedules for fertility benefits, caregiving benefits in dollars, educational reimbursement programs, right? So supporting employees in every aspect of their life.
I'm hoping at Yes we'll get sleep pods. Leanna, can you put that in?
A sleep pod would be wonderful. Even if we could get one or two.
I'm talking just a 20-minute power nap. I mean, that would really work for a lot of us around here.
It would be a great benefit. I will add that.
Yeah, especially today after the Avs game last night. I think everyone needs a sleep pod here today.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, Kylee, can you paint a picture of successful wellness programs? Like, what's all involved? Have you seen anyone who does it exceptionally well, or people out there that are even pushing the boundaries of wellness? And what are they offering that you hadn't seen before?
Yeah, absolutely. So I would say Yes is doing a really great job. I want to give credit where credit is due, right? But I would say successful wellness programs, again, offer a wide variety, right? Supporting employees from a mental health perspective, whether that be educational seminars, whether that be really rich employee assistance programs or EAP, like Leanna mentioned earlier, making sure that employees know about virtual options, right? In terms of their care, not just behavioral, but also the physical realm. Can I do my annual physical online this year, right? Because I have 4 kids and I have to tow them with me to the doctor and I just don't have time. I really want to be able to do it in a virtual setting. Supporting employees from the physical, spiritual, emotional, social, making sure that, they have the ability and flexibility and freedom to take PTO without any sort of burden that they're going to feel, right? Having to leave their desk for a couple of days. So I would say what paints a successful program is assessing the employee base, right? Giving them an opportunity to ask for what they want and what they need, getting your leadership to get behind you and support your efforts, right? Because you have the data that you need. And then partnering with your vendor partners, right? Whether that be a Cigna or whether that be external vendors that, your HR team can go out and vet, and making sure that you have the resources that you need to support employees.
So what is Cigna doing to promote wellness as a standard employee benefit?
I would say we have a pretty robust wellness program here at Cigna, only because we have, again, I keep talking about this, I sound like a broken record, but we have a wide variety of options within all of these dimensions that we've discussed today, right? So one, we have incentives similar to what Yes has set up, right? So if I go to my doctor's office or if I engage in our employee assistance program, however I engage, I can be incentivized for that. They support us. We actually have educational reimbursement programs in place. So if we want to seek out higher education, right? If we want to seek out degrees, we're able to do so with some compensation, which is kind of nice. We have a broad, big, comprehensive employee assistance program ourselves because mental health is really important to Cigna. We have a ton of behavioral health resources. I could go on and on. But how we support our employers is we try to model that ourselves, but then also offer those capabilities out to the groups that we work with, right? So for Yes's example, we have deployed telephonic coaching for lifestyle management programs, so stress management, weight management, and tobacco cessation. We have chronic condition coaching. So for individuals who have been diagnosed with a chronic condition, they can get paired with a coach who specializes in that condition. So they have additional support outside of their provider, right? But these coaches that can help them set goals to help manage those. You talked about the OMADA program. That is a free resource, again, focused on helping individuals combat prediabetes or weight loss, whatever the case may be. We have a ton of behavioral health programs. We have behavioral health coaching for, specific behavioral diagnoses and virtual benefits. I mean, there's a lot that we do, and how we kind of bring that all together. And what makes Cigna unique, I would say, is we have engagement consultants that we align with our employer groups that we work with. And they are there to help consult with the employers, right? To build out these wellness programs. And so in Yes's case, that is me. I work with Leanna and team to, look at that data, look at what your offerings are, and how can we continuously build year after year and make sure employees know about these resources.
So how has technology improved access to wellness tools? I mean, you're talking about virtual therapy or even checkups that are virtual. How does that work?
Yeah. So you touched on it earlier. If you get on my Cigna, in terms of the Cigna resources, right, that's going to be your best bet to get connected, whether that be on your computer or you're using the mobile app. There are several ways to get connected in that virtual space. So whether that be a virtual therapy visit, right, where you schedule time with a therapist and you guys get on a Zoom call or a phone call, whether that be a virtual dermatology visit. I know you went and saw one in person, but did you know you could do it virtually, where you can schedule time, with a dermatologist, and they'll go over a care plan with you. Outside of virtual care, right, and in that benefit perspective, I would say technology has advanced from wearable devices. You talked about your Apple Watch, and it's telling you to breathe, right? It's telling you your heart rate. So when you're trying to breathe and your heart rate's going up, you can relax. The Oura Ring, right, that helps you track your sleep and all components of your health. So I would say basically what technology has done is made it easier to access health information, right? And also help you understand it. Because a lot of these apps and these wearable devices come with, these informational guides that way you're not just looking at it with a blind eye thinking, okay, is this an okay heart rate, or should it be lower, right? So lots of advances. And I would say it's going to continue on that way. We are continuously trying to find virtual vendors that can support our clients and their employee base. So more to come from Cigna side of things.
Okay, so, this is a last question here, but what is a common misconception about wellness?
The biggest misconception is, what does wellness even mean? And what does it mean today, right? I think 10 years ago, wellness meant something completely different than it does today. I think people often are quick to go to, wellness, this is physical activity. I need to go run 20 miles a day, and I need to only eat spinach for dinner. And really now it is the whole person, right? It's your spirituality, it's your mental health, it's your physical health, it's your financial well-being, it's your social well-being, right? When you think about every area of your life, wellness impacts that. So the biggest misconception in my perspective is people thinking that it's just physical activity, and it's not anymore.
And I think, a lot of people after COVID and the whole world pretty much turned upside down, focused inward on themselves, on their families. And I think that's why we're seeing such a shift with everything happening in the wellness, landscape.
Absolutely. I think people took a lot of time to reflect on what's important, right? And realized health is wealth at the end of the day, right? If anything, we've learned that we really need to take care of ourselves, both physically and mentally. And people are, I think, becoming a little bit more courageous to ask for what they need, or be vocal about, setting boundaries with things that are important to them or not, no longer important. So I completely agree. If anything, it's really helped people to open their eyes and be comfortable with appreciating their health and taking the steps that they need to get there.
Thank you for listening to What Living Means. If you've enjoyed our show, please consider leaving us a rating or review on your preferred podcast app. We'd really appreciate it. I'm Vanessa Jasinski, and I'll see you next time.